Welcome back to Proverbs 31 Life. Today is our Homeschool Friday post, and we are talking about how do you homeschool with toddlers, with little ones. For me, everyone's different. This wasn't super hard for me, but it depends on how many kids you have, how much space you have, and the grades that you are teaching. But part of this really comes down to teaching and training your children. So those that are in school, they have to learn to work independently. Not completely. That's your job as a parent, as the teacher, is to teach and to guide and instruct and be there. And I get that. But you have to teach them that there are some things that they can do on their own. You can read them the instructions for math and say, okay, section 1 says you need to write in these answers of your adding. Do that. And I'm going to step away. Copy your spelling words. The words are right here in this book. Copy them down, and I'm going to step away. Color this worksheet, and I'm going to step away. So you have to train them and teach them to work independently. That way you can tend to the little ones or to the house or whatever it is. The little ones have to learn and be taught and trained to play by themselves. For us, it was imperative. Like, you cannot be so dependent on me for every second of the day, for everything, for my attention. Like, I still have, to cook and to clean, and I'd like to, be able to go to the restroom by myself without you just falling apart because I'm not in the room. And some kids have different things, and I get that. But overall, for most people, this is just teaching and training. You need to be able to do some of your schoolwork independently. You need to be able to play by yourself. Our oldest was 7 when our baby was born. So for 7 years, it was just me and him. And we'd play and we'd talk and we'd go outside and we would do all the things. But even as a toddler, he was really good about just wanting to be in the room and play. He didn't want to go in his room. He did not want to be isolated. He did not want to play in his room. He still doesn't. He's 14. And he just wants to be near you. He needs to know that you're right there. He doesn't need you, but he just knows that you're there. So we were homeschooling in first grade, and we started in August, found out I was pregnant in September. So we homeschooled through pregnancy, bed rest, NICU, all the things, and started back up in second grade with like a 6-month-old. So you have to keep the baby occupied. Babies are distracting. Toddlers are distracting. But again, you have to learn to play by yourself. Naps are essential, okay? Especially in those younger grades of like 3rd grade and under. You can really get school done in 2 hours in a nap time. You can. Or you do the things that they need your one-on-one attention for, that math instruction, listening to them read when the baby's asleep, and then when they're up. Okay, now you can write your spelling words by yourself, so I can feed the baby. I can take care of the baby. So with that, my daughter was 7 years younger. So she, wanted to play, and she didn't know why Bubba had to do school and why, she couldn't do things. Let them do things though. So I would give her, construction paper and let her sit at the table, and she can draw and color and cut, whatever. Play-Doh, slime, kinetic sand, stencils. So these are some of the things that we have. We have stencils in different sizes. I got these on Amazon real cheap. And there's different themes, different colors. These are just animals. This is like a safari, dinosaurs and stuff. This is like hot air balloons and cars. Just different shapes and designs. Some of these are upside down. There's like a Christmas theme. So stencils and construction paper, or even just white, like computer copy paper, and different colored pens and markers, and they can draw and color. They have a short attention span, but they have to learn to play by themselves, keep themselves occupied. Legos, like the big Legos, great. Things like that. I am a fan of, you get to go spend the day with grandma, but we can't do that every day. Every day this is our life. You are my children to take care of. So you have to learn to occupy them. Let them play outside, with chalk, and you take your schoolwork outside, and, we're going to sit on the trampoline and read. And you and the big kids are sitting on the trampoline reading, and the little kids get to play on the trampoline. the little kids can go out and ride their bike while you sit on the porch and do school. So you have to improvise. You have to make this work for you. It is not impossible at all. We are going into 9th grade and 2nd grade. So that's all I've ever done is try to homeschool with either being pregnant or with a younger kid until she got into school. So do you have to do formal school at 3, 4, 5 years old? Most states, no, you don't. Unschooling is actually legal in all 50 states. But we did start K-4 with a formal curriculum to give her something to do and to get her used to having to sit, having to listen, and just getting in that routine of school. So another thing that I started using, probably about that 3 or 4 years old, is these pattern block activity cards. Got these on Amazon too. Amazon has lots of just like preschool, toddler type activities. So water table, it's warm and, we're starting school in the fall or finishing up school in the summer and it's still warm outside. Do stuff like that. So this is going to make like a cat. So what you're going to do is you're going to buy this pack of the pattern cards, but you're going to get these blocks too. You're going to buy these pattern blocks that go with it. I wouldn't do super young for these because some of these are small unless you want to take out the really small pieces. But some of these are big pieces. Some of these are not. So just be careful. But what they're going to do is they're going to be able to take these patterns and they're going to try to fill this in to make this shape with all these different little shapes and colors. So that's just some of the things that we use. Neither one of my kids really like to color. They would draw a little more or cut things out more. The stencils were a pretty big hit with that. And this is like maybe half of what we have. We have some that are bigger with more on them and different designs and stuff. So the stencils were good. Get on Pinterest and figure out, some different activities to keep them occupied. Hot Wheels. Let them go outside and, okay, well, you need to go find, 3 leaves. And we're going to find a green leaf. And we're going to find a brown leaf. And we're going to find a red leaf, whatever. And let them find it and come back in and trace it. It doesn't have to be educational. They don't have to remember it. You are just trying to keep them happy and occupied. Whatever works for you. You're going to have to improvise, get out of your comfort zone. There is going to be hard days. There is going to be lots of balance of, look, big kids have a math test or a reading test and I cannot play with you right now. And that's okay. You are not a bad parent. You're not a bad mom. You're not a bad homeschool mom because you are not in the floor playing with them every single second of every day. It's okay. Give them chores. They can, take a Clorox wipe and go wipe all the door handles off if they can reach them or all the light switches if they can reach them. And it occupies them. Let them, I saw something where you take like small plastic, like shapes like this or dinosaurs or something, and you put it like a giant bowl of water and you freeze it, and then you let them chip away at the ice trying to get the dinosaurs out. One thing when my daughter was little, probably like that 2 years old, we used like a Tupperware container and I dyed instant rice, different colors, red, yellow, blue, green, and mixed it all up. And I put different things in there for her to find. So you put a pencil in there, you put an eraser in there, you put, macaroni noodles in there, whatever it is. And she got to play with it. She liked the texture of it, but it occupied her. And if she ate it, it's not going to hurt her. It's not toxic. It's just rice and food coloring. If you're dye-free, then you have to find something else. But other than that, it wasn't going to hurt her. She just wouldn't like the taste because the rice was going to be hard. But you can do like beans the same way, like dry, like pinto beans or northern beans. You can put those in there and they can search through and try to find different little, put a dye, in there or little pipe cleaners in there. Buy pipe cleaners and beads or pipe cleaners and noodles or cereal and let them, sit in their high chair, sit at the table with their pipe cleaners and they're trying to put the Cheerios on the pipe cleaners, fine motor skills, all good things. But like I said, every day is not going to be easy. And there are some days at school with the big kids, we just don't do a whole day. Or we don't do school at all today because mom is just not. And, the baby's got colic or whatever it is. But I don't want you to think, oh, because I have a toddler, I can't do this. Toddlers are a lot of work. But I'm going to tell you, big kids are a lot of work too. It just changes. Okay. My kids are 7 and 14. The amount of work and how that work gets put into them just changes. Occupying a toddler, trying to get your toddler to take a nap when she doesn't want to, is sometimes just as hard as trying to teach pre-algebra, okay? It just depends on the day. But this doesn't mean that you can't do it. So I don't want you to be discouraged. I don't want you to think that it's just never going to work. It might take a month of school, of hard days and half days before you get something figured out. So be patient with the process. Don't give up. Ask your husband for ideas. Ask other homeschool moms for ideas. Get on Pinterest and find different things to occupy the kids. Let the kid go to grandma's or to your friend's house or to the aunt's house, whatever. One day, every 2-3 weeks, once a month, whatever, and just let them, have that time. Or send them both and no, don't do school on a Friday. I'm okay with that too. But whatever it is, it's going to look a little different for your family. We are very much just homebodies. We don't co-op or anything like that. So it's just us figuring it out day to day. The younger kids' naps are essential, like I said, for you, for them, for everybody's sanity. But a lot of it's just teaching and training. And training is not a one-time event. It is constant. It is consistent. So they're going to throw temper tantrums when you say, no, I'm not going to play with you right now. I have to do whatever. But it's no different than, okay, I need to fold the laundry. I need to make dinner. Like, you can't sit on my feet and hang on me, and you need to stop and go play. So don't be afraid to tell them no. Don't be afraid to tell them you need to go play by yourself. Let them bring their toys into the living room. You can sit quietly and play right here. But if you start being loud, Bubba's doing school. If you start being loud, you have to go back to your room and be consistent with that. And they'll figure out, like, I want to be here, so I better be quiet, It's just discipline. It's just teaching and training. It's what all of parenting is, okay? It's all we do. But that's what it really comes down to. So you can, even if you have a baby, if you have a toddler, if you're pregnant, it is hard. It is exhausting, but that's the beauty of homeschool, is you get to make this work for you rather than, trying to keep up with homework and the school schedule and up they're off and they're not and I'm exhausted and, different things. So there's lots of perks to that. So do the best you can, and you can do this. So that is my homeschooling with a toddler advice. Stay in the Word, stay close to the shepherd, and let him lead you in passive righteousness.